is a question that I have been thinking about for a really long time. And as you know, DCEU doesn't really have its own Kevin Feige in a sense that there is no sense of direction to anything that's currently happening in DCEU. Sure, we have some really awesome movies that came out, like Aquaman was great, Shazam was awesome. But after that, they've had some good string of wins. But it seems like they're kind of directionless. Unlike MCU, where all their movies are leading to an Avengers movies, there doesn't seem to be a Justice League 2 that's going to be interconnected with all these movies. And we all know that interconnected movies are where it's at, as Marvel ended up having one of the the highest grossing movie of all time with Avengers Endgame. So it begs the question, Justice League, DC has some of the best characters ever in the history of comic books in general. So there really isn't a reason why even they can't have their own version of Avengers Endgame. So the question I'm proposing is, if you were appointed as the Kevin Feige or the lead producer for the DCEU, how would you handle uh, everything going forward? So, Cam, I would actually like you to go first, so you can, because I'm really interested to hear what your thoughts are on this, and then I'll give my thoughts. So go ahead.
Don't rush movies. Give them time, actually. Give them time to not only produce and breathe and whatever your first draft is, give it time to tweak it and mess around with it. But don't reshoot it and don't rewrite it when filming has already started. That's one of the errors that they've done. Of course, don't rush the movies and actually give them time to come out. Plan out the late and plan out whatever movie that you want to do next. Like you like whatever movie is next, like Robert Pattinson Batman and 1980, the next Wonder Woman movie. It was 1984, right?
Yeah, Wonder Woman 1984. Yeah.
And 1984 and whatever could be next. It could be the next Aquaman. It could be a cyborg movie. It could be a movie about the Teen Titans, Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey. Plan out the movies in advance and then make a timeline out of it. I mean, you've done that already with the Justice League movies, but of course, just have them lead up to a big movie. Like the Justice League movie could be the next, could be the big movie, or Suicide Squad could be that big movie.
Yeah, definitely planning a better plan would be the way to go. So it so since you hypothetically are the lead producer now for the movies, what would your future lineup look like outside after? Because I know the lineup is set until December 2022 with the Aquaman 2 coming out then. But how would you fill the gaps between Aquaman 2, and also how would you uh, lead it lead the universe to have a Justice League 2? So how would you do that?
That is the movies that are already confirmed.
Yeah, so we're having Joker in October. We're gonna have Birds of Prey in February 2022, and then after that, we're gonna have June 2020 is gonna be Wonder Woman, and we won't have a DC movie until uh, June 2021, since no other movies confirmed between uh, Wonder Woman 1984 and Robert Pattinson Batman movie. And then August 2021, we're getting Suicide Squad. And then December 2022 is when we're getting uh, Aquaman. So there's there's space to be filled out between those movies and after Aquaman 2. So how would you lead to Justice League 2?
The Cyborg movie is, of course, going to be, I'd say, in between. Well, let's say Justice League 2 would be 2023 or 2024, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
There's already 2 movies in between Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad, so that's Wonder Woman and Batman crossed off. The Flash and Aquaman. After that would probably be Green Lantern and Cyborg. And then, like, I'm just following the 2 every year pattern. And then probably do another Superman movie. And
In
then
what year?
Justice.
So in Superman movie in what year?
Actually, Superman would probably be after Aquaman,
Okay.
then Green Lantern, then Cyborg, then the Justice League.
Oh, that's perfect. So that would mean Man of Steel in 2023, which would be 10-year anniversary of the first Man of Steel. I think that's awesome. And then Green Lantern. No, sorry. Yeah, Green Lantern in November 2023. And then did you say Justice League in, like, let's say summer 2024? Does that sound correct?
I could either do Cyborg in 2023 or Justice League in 2020 in the summer.
Yeah.
It can go in either way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, honestly. That actually fits very well. It's actually kind of similar to my idea for the DCU. Now, for me, if I ended up becoming the lead producer for the DCEU, my first order of business would be to make sure my cast is set. Like, I sign people through as many years as I need towards the next Justice League movie. Like, I would have it kind of be like how Kevin Feige does it, where everything just leads to the next Avengers movie. So for me, everything leads to the next Justice League movie, and that's the main focus. That is the big money maker for me, and that's gonna get the focus. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna sacrifice my solo movies and they're all gonna be Easter eggs and just whatnot. They're going to be great personal stories in and of itself, but they're also going to be interconnected with other movies so that eventually all the heroes can appear in a mega Justice League movie. So of course we got Joker this year, coming out next month. Then we have Birds of Prey in February 2020, and then Wonder Woman in June 2020. So that's great and all. I love it. I kind of wish they had planned a Cyborg movie, because Cyborg was supposed to come out in April 2020, but they decided to not develop that movie. I would maybe put it later down the line since there's more pressing matters right now. I think what I would do is I would have them start the Flash movie as soon as possible. I feel like a Flashpoint movie is very necessary at this point, and they already have Andy Muschietti, the director for It Chapter 1 and 2, on the project. So they should just fast track the project right now. And Ezra Miller is also confirmed to come back, so that's great. Make it a February 2021 release. Do this before Batman and kind of explain the Batman recasting in a way if Ben Affleck never comes back for a Justice League movie. Flashpoint can kind of fix some things like that, but hopefully it doesn't fix Henry Cavill or something like that, because I want to make sure Henry Cavill stays as my Superman. So do Flash February 2021. Flashpoint, February 2021. So that's kind of a soft review, but at the same time, it's a great Flash story. Kind of interconnects every member of the Justice League in the movie. So it's kind of becomes the DCEU's Civil Wars kind of storyline where everything is interconnected because the Flash storyline had almost every Justice League character. So I would definitely do that in February 2021. Then I would have them do June 2021 Batman, have the Batman solo movie. Then August 2021 do the Suicide Squad movie. Great. 2021 is going to be a great year if DCU does that lineup. Then early 2022, I would seriously consider developing a Cyborg movie by then, so Cyborg can get a solo movie. Although he doesn't really have to, I feel like he can probably be a main part of the Flash movie. So I'm not too serious about a Cyborg movie, but I feel like Mattel would be a great villain for Cyborg, so they can definitely do a Cyborg movie in 2022. Definitely get a Green Lantern movie in, like, let's say November 2022. Set up the Green Lantern universe. And I was gonna have Man of Steel in 2022, but I do like your idea of doing Man of Steel in 2023 as like a 10-year anniversary between the first Man of Steel and the sequel. And after all those three movies, I would do a Justice League movie. Probably just like you, I would do it in summer 2024, and that would interconnect every movie that's come out before it: the Flash movie, Man of Steel, Green Lantern. And since J.J. Abrams was hired recently by Warner Brothers, I feel like he's going to be helping them out with the Justice League eventually. So I could see him direct the. I would definitely appoint him to direct the Man of Steel movie, the Green Lantern movie, and then, of course, eventually, finally, I would have him direct a Justice League movie, and that would be the end of Phase 2 for the DCEU in my books. I think that's how I would do it. Let us know in the comment section below how you would go about producing the DCEU movies. All right, so now moving on to our next topic. There have been spoiler reports coming in that there is a good chance that in the new Black Widow movie, which hits theaters in May 2020, that Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, is going to be making a cameo of sort in the movie. Now, these reports aren't 100% confirmed, although I can see these reports being true. I feel like Kevin Feige might be having a hard time giving Scarlett Johansson her own solo movie. I feel like maybe he wants that Iron Man magic sprinkled into the movie. He did it with Homecoming, and I guess he's gonna do it again with Black Widow. Although it depends on what kind of cameo it is, because sometimes it can be kind of overbearing. Although the Homecoming cameo from Downey Jr. wasn't as overbearing, it really wasn't. But this really could end up being, if my suspicions are true and Kevin Feige really doesn't trust Scarlett Johansson to carry her own solo movie. I mean, let's be honest, she should have gotten her own solo movie a really long time ago when her character was at its peak, but I feel like it's a very weird timing with her character being dead and this being a movie that's taking place either after or before Civil War. So, very irrelevant time to explore in the MCU. Cam, what are your thoughts on the potential appearance from Robert Downey Jr. in the solo Black Widow movie?
Since it is a prequel and not something that comes after the fact, after Endgame, after the character has been killed off. It might be a thing. It might happen. It might just be like something from a little bit of fan service after Iron Man. After all, this is Iron Man's peak, if you will. Would you agree? Is this his peak?
I would say it's kind of his peak only because the character's story arc has pretty much ended and he had that emotional death. But at the same time, it raises the question like, does MCU have a Tony Stark problem? Like, are they relying on him way too much even after his death? So what do you think about that?
It's like he's one of the major faces of the entire universe, and maybe they're gonna use him as actually like a selling point, if you will, because they can't really trust ScarJo to handle the movie on her own. And yes, she should have had a movie a really long time ago. Like, say, like what would you do with the like when should have been the Black Widow movie?
I think honestly, anytime after the Winter Soldier, because that's when the character was like really popular, in my opinion.
It would have either been basically before Civil War. Before Civil War, and yeah, before Civil War.
Yeah, I guess instead of Ant-Man, they could have technically done Black Widow, but
And
well,
I
it
don't
is what it
mind
is.
Ant-Man. I don't mind Ant-Man, but
Same, yeah.
yeah, you could have just swapped that. Or just did 2 movies in that year. Or did they do 2 movies that year, Age of Ultron?
2015, they did Age of Ultron and Ant-Man, and that's it. I think
2016 was Civil War and
Doctor Strange. That's it.
2017 was
Ragnarok, Homecoming, and okay, wait, there were 3 movies, right? Ragnarok, Homecoming. Wait, 2017. Wasn't there 3 movies in 2017? Am I forgetting an MCU movie? Okay, hold
I'm
on.
trying to look it up. 2017. Ragnarok, Homecoming, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, Guardians. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Guardians came out earlier in 2017. Yeah. So and then 2018 was Ant-Man
Meanwhile,
2
Age of
and
Ultron and Ant-Man were released like a month or 2 apart.
yeah, that's true, yeah.
So they could have squeezed in a Black Widow movie for the end of the year.
Yeah, that's true.
And then 18 was Black Panther, Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp. This year was Captain Marvel, Endgame, Far From Home. Though to you could have basically swapped Captain Marvel for Black Widow.
That's true. Captain Marvel, in my opinion, didn't deserve a movie before Black Widow, but oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, should be interesting to see how the general public reacts to Iron Man being in a Black Widow movie, even as a cameo. Like I feel like people will. I think some people are gonna start raising eyebrows, saying you guys might have a Tony Stark problem.
Dead. These 2 are dead.
Right, exactly. Let him stay dead.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that video and make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And click on the channel to check out some more awesome videos like our movie and wrestling debates and our interviews with people like the Wrestling Classic and Jordan Jomo from the IGWC. And we are definitely looking into delivering you all some more content in the near future, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And thank you for your support.